Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about eyes. Prezen o master shimashou. This is the 7th year of the Presentations Japan Series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery in Japanese, Anata mo Prezen Tatsujin. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de okane o muda ni suru wa yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you to become a better speaker, to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, and 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 361. Today we're talking about, should presenters use eye contact in Japan? Japanese culture is pretty specific about making eye contact with people. In ancient times, a commoner might lose their head if a samurai felt they were making eye contact with them in an arrogant or disrespectful way. Even amongst samurai, in the presence of superiors, you would only raise your eyes to make eye contact when invited to do so. Otherwise, your right place would be looking down at the floor with your head bowed. Here we are in the modern era, and making direct eye contact is still felt to be inappropriate. The guidelines are look at the person's throat or forehead or chin, but don't make eye contact. It is thought to be too aggressive and rude, especially if they are older or higher in status than you. Okay, you might not agree with it, but that is how we do things around here. As a result, I rarely ever see Japanese presenters making conscious, specific eye contact with the people assembled before them. I don't see too many foreigners doing it either. My old Japanese professor at university had the habit of looking at the joint between the back wall and the ceiling behind us in the lecture theatre and looking there whenever he wasn't reading from his text. Zero eye contact and engagement with any of us plebs. Now, when in Rome, do as the Romans do is ancient wisdom. So, should we, foreigners, blend in with the locals and avoid eye contact with our audience? Absolutely not. This point can become contentious, but we are mixing up scenarios. Chatting with your colleague, boss, or friends while not making eye contact is fine, if that is the appropriate relationship. I had retrained myself to make eye contact when I went back to Australia after studying here for the first 4.5 years. I had automatically gotten out of the habit, which was treated with suspicion back home. Why couldn't I look people in the eye? Was I hiding something? Or was I a dodgy character you couldn't trust? As a presenter, we may be conversational in our delivery, but this isn't the same as a chat over coffee. We're on stage, and we are the person commanding the attention of the room. The formality associated with this speaker scenario is a lot more substantial than chatting together. So we need to make eye contact because we want to engage our audience. This audience engagement piece is where a lot of speakers fail. They spray their eye contact equally over the whole ensemble. They give everyone the same degree of eye contact at precisely the same time, and in effect make eye contact with no one in particular. I'm looking at you all, so I'm making contact as the theme. This is fake eye contact. You see it most often with politicians who try to look like they are at one with the masses, but actually don't engage with any of them. They dart their eyes left and right, but they're not really looking at anyone. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also are doing custom in-house programs. We do them in both Japanese and English. We do them in our super safe classroom and live online. The show today is being brought to you by, on the 12th and 13th of October, our High Impact Presentations course in Japanese. On the 13th of October, we're doing the Dale Carnegie course online version. And on the 10th of November, we'll do the Leadership Training for Managers course. We'll do the 3-day version of that. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have nearly 2,000 there for you on Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from small, medium enterprises all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro TV show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan, the Bible on selling, Japan Sales Mastery, Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane wo muru ni sume wa yamemashou, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. One of the reasons it is hard to make eye contact is we're not taught how to do so when we are speakers. We just take our cues from the people we see presenting and imagine that that must be how we should do it. With a large crowd of people peering up at us, this can be confronting and make us self-conscious and nervous. Any plans for looking at people are now out the window as we mentally retreat in fear. The answer isn't to look at the crowd as one entity, but to look at one person at a time. We need to break the room up into segments. We have those on the left, those in the middle, and those on the right. We can cut this into 2 and break the venue into those up front and those down the back in the cheap seats. Our aim is to engage as many people as possible. The best way to do that is to cover each of these segments. If we're too predictable, say going from left to right, the audience will realize it and will tune us out. The element of surprise is a good one to keep audiences engaged. We take one of these segments and then we choose a single person and we make eye contact with them. It is very confusing to look at 2 things at once, so don't bother with that. Select one of their eyes and use your 2 eyes to make eye contact with their 1 eye. You will find this much easier. We also remove the fear of having a mass of people looking up at us because we're only looking at a single person. At a distance, the 20 people sitting around that individual will think we're looking at them too. In short order, we can cover a large amount of people in the crowd. We're only engaging with them for about 6 seconds, so we can cover a lot of ground in a 40-minute speech. In fact, we can make eye contact one-on-one with 400 individuals in that speech. If we have an audience of 50 people, we can do 8 rotations during the 40-minute speech and really personalize the occasion. Why 6 seconds and not 4 or 20? Burning a hole in someone's retina by making overly long one-on-one eye contact is a bit creepy. A lot of pressure. Feels intrusive. 6 seconds gives us enough time to make close eye contact, personalize what we are saying, and yet not be too oppressive for the audience member. 4 seconds just isn't long enough, and we meld into the fake eye contact world. Engaging our audience is what we are after. Making eye contact with one individual for 6 seconds is how we do it, and we try to interact with as many people in the audience as possible over the course of the talk. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.